March 21, an auspiciously overcast day at the lake with some drizzle falling on me, some snow flakes, some rain. And I'm sitting here in my favorite spot to record, and with my beautiful big rocks right in front of me here along the East Shore Trail. And before it starts raining too much, to give an update about today, and in general, I haven't done one of these for a long time, so I may end up sharing this with EIC team or not, but I wanted to share a couple big updates. One is that I dissolved the Thrive Towns Inc., which was a Delaware-based for-profit LLC, and I dissolved it, and I'm going to file the taxes with Fouchon Accounting, who I met with this morning, Kimberly. So that will be a door closed and account will be liquidated. The second big decision was to hire Kimberly to be our accountant for EIC. We're gonna spend the next month cleaning up the books and setting up EIC to have location-based categories, or what do they call them? Classes, so that each community that we do a project in Klein, Reno, Vegas, California, will have its own separate accounting structure. So that will be set up and also be ready to take money from large donors and be able to hire people to operate in each community and or in the technology, enterprise, selfpreneur system development. The other big thing I've committed to do is to redesign the book that I was beginning to write as of last fall, and I had hired a self-publishing agent entity, the Thought Leader Group, to be able to coach me on the writing of that and inspire. It started out as a selfpreneur playbook focus. What now, having spent the last 5 months trying to elevate the focus of EIC to being a Thrive Town resolution that the state buys into, that we can get buy-in from our legislators and our leaders at the state and federal level, has become clear to me, as most people who can see the world as it is right now on March 21st, 2025, is that we are falling apart into chaos at the federal level. And just yesterday, President signed an order to eliminate the Department of Education. And along with it looks like a lot of big cuts, with the assumption that Nevada or other states are going to pick up the slack of what was being done at the federal level. And then today I was reading the Nevada Independent and talking about the impact to Nevada, and they're having NPRs doing stories about interviewing Nevadan legislatures about the implications of what's happening. And here we are, our bills for the Nevada legislature are this week or next week officially being presented. So, having lost all faith or hope that anything that we do as a resolution or activating our our vision for what EIC and Thrive Towns could be. Having given up on that possibility, I am refocusing on going within to write the book from the context of three perspectives. One will be the perspective of a local community government. It could be county, it could be town, like Incline or like Washoe, or Clark or Henderson in southern Nevada, or it could be South Lake Tahoe, or Truckee on the California side. So as these communities, so one of the sections will be about being a community advocate, being a leader of the community, whether a board member of IVGID or a board member of the school district or the county. That will be an appeal to be an organizer with us in planning for the future of integrated education and career development, and sort of serving the whole community as a hub for innovation and development. The second section will be towards the parents, and even parents of older kids who want to give back and make the next generation more successful in adulting and in being the creators of our next phase of society. That will also coach on the use of technology and empowering kids to their potential from an early age, and including what Kimberly said to me this morning. She's like, our kids need to know how to budget and understand basic finance. That is so missing, and she wants to help make that happen through Thrive Town. So she's super interested to help out. And then the third section will be for the young people themselves, and it'll be a cheerlead coach of what their future potential can be, how they can be creators of the future. And then at the end of each section, I will have a link to a survey or a series of reflection questions. And then they can go to the Thrive Hub on Mighty Network, complete the survey, and if they want, they can participate in the Selfpreneur Point 5 self-reflection and get a sense as to what the process of self-reflection looks like. And then if they feel compelled to be a part of the change, they can join one of the teams that are forming on the hub. So the key here is that the book has to be a multifaceted audience, and the appeal is from a grassroots level, from the youth themselves, the parents, and the community members. And a subset of the community members and the parents will be those who have the resources to invest and to create a legacy. So they will be invited also to contribute generously or join the board of EIC. So with that refresh, I'm also headed back to meet with Mike and refresh our thinking on our house location refinancing so that we can stay here for a little bit longer, and figure out if this truly is the best place to launch the EIC initiatives, or is there some better community that we could bilocate or bilocate to, that would give us the fresh perspective outside of the Nevada and incline sort of uh, scope that I've been sticking to very persistently, but maybe is not the best place to do the innovations that we need to do from a Thrive Town perspective. Now, all the book and the selfpreneur can be virtual and independent of place, but ultimately the goal will be to get a prototype place, town, and community that will co-create the Thrive Physical Center so that the selfpreneur can be done in the best possible context of a social, community-wide engagement. And the final thing I'll share is a cool suggestion and synchronicity that Kimberly at Frushan Accounting said when I was talking about accounting practices that could merge the private sector, public sector, and be accounted for, in a hybrid model. And her suggestion was to look at junior achievers, because they have a model that is for, I think she said it was for profit, but they serve the schools and not for profits. And so there could be a model whereby our program is adopted by junior achievers, and together we co-create the Thrive Town as a public wealth entity outside of EIC itself. So EIC retains its role as a nonprofit to stimulate the conversation and the education and maybe the consulting, but that the actual entities get launched into their own public-private enterprise and public wealth building enterprise in a whole different accounting model than we can imagine right now. So the future is to be created, but there is great synergy. I'm feeling an amazing amount of infusion of hope and possibility as this first day of spring 2025. Thanks for any thoughts, reactions, and feedback on this emerging clarification. Thanks.